All right.
Yet another glorious return.
It's the triple P's, baby.
Niggas is getting good at this weekly thing. How about that?
Boom.
We out here. Somewhat professional.
Somewhat, you know what I'm saying? We trying to get there. Slowly but surely.
That should be like our tagline. Somewhat professional. That's the first
I would
shirt.
love that, but then we be biting off of Drink Champs. You know, the most professional cast in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And then I want to get a call from Nori telling me that I got to relax. Or you'll see my lawyers.
You gotta relax.
Nah, chill. Don't do it to me like that, Nori.
Yeah, man. But, yeah, we definitely trying to get there, you know. But this is yet another installment in that mystical quest / journey known as the Triple P's.
That's right. I am the Liquid Snake, the only liquid snake in the world. Take that, Liquid Snake 76948. Motherfucker.
There's been a lot of renditions, but there's only one.
Tell the people who you is. It's not just me out here.
It never was. You know what I'm saying, you got the people with you. You're the people's champ. You out here throwing up the diamond right now. But with that said,
As much as I can with the microphone in my hand. Y'all don't see it, but I'm throwing up the DDP.
yeah, he's actually doing
which is a nice allusion to what we'll be talking about
it.
today.
He was actually doing it.
Gotta respect, son. Shout out to the man.
Since March 2nd, 1987, I've been the bandit who is light-skinned.
So wait, you came out the womb as a full-fledged bandit.
That's what they told me, yeah.
That's incredible.
I mean, I was born during the blizzard too, so.
Oh, that explains it. You were obscured by all the snow, so as soon as
The swindle.
As soon as you hopped out your mom's, all the wallets was in your pockets.
You know what I'm saying, the wallets, and I drove off in the side.
Came out with the burlap sack, drove off in the Subaru.
All right, now this shit is starting to sound like some real
some action bros.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Lightskin Bandit. Once again, not really trying to steal the show, but you know, if I take it, I take it.
That's somewhat akin to Shawn Michaels, except you're the show stealer as opposed to the show stopper.
Yeah. After it stop, I'll steal it.
So today, as I go into my soft NPR voice,
you know what I'm saying? Still working on them sexy voices.
We're going to talk about some wrestling. Mostly because it's kind of a slow news week. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't feel like...
It's a slow news week, but
it's like
hot,
scraping some
summer.
research today, you know.
It's a hot elbow summer.
Well, that's better than the white boy summer that was prophesied. Or prophesied.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, shit. If Jake Paul wins on Sunday, which he won't, it might be a white boy summer, even though it'll only be like, 4 more days left in August?
Is that the fastest light skin prophecy on record that you're giving right now?
That is not a prophecy, nor is it it's not even a whim. It's just an if, but it won't happen.
So you have faith in Tyron?
I have faith in Tyron. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just because, you know, after that altercation, quote unquote.
For context, today, which was the weigh-ins, right? I believe for it.
It looked more just like the pose
or a
now.
press conference. Like,
I don't know. Jake had his shirt off for like 1,000 chains. So I don't know.
Yeah. So whatever it was, both camps apparently got into it. You know.
Well, you know, it couldn't be the weigh-in because the weigh-in will have to be like either tomorrow
like the day
or
tomorrow.
Saturday.
It's usually the day before. Yeah. So yeah, I guess there's a press conference for the fight.
Yeah,
you know?
like the last one. Yeah.
They've been doing press all week, both guys. I've seen them on ESPN here and there. It's kind of weird. I know we're not really talking on MMA on this one, but it's weird to see Daniel Cormier like analyze this like show fight essentially, that Tyron should win. I mean, unless he's getting paid heavy
I
to
mean,
take
DC
the dive.
has he has a pretty great sense of humor, so that's really what this is about.
Yeah, and I also think people are hoping, like all the other fights, that it'll be a spectacle, an interesting spectacle. So that's what I'm hoping for personally. Like
because Tyron is so cool, calm, and collected.
Well, except for when you talk about his mom's.
Even then,
I
like
think he was upset. So
no, he was,
really
and like I saw that, and they had the. It's amazing because you always have to have a reaction video, so they had him reacting to his own shit, and much like that stare down with Conor and Khabib back in what was that, 2018?
Yeah.
There's certain times when you see certain shit and you like, oh, hey. Oh, no, yeah, somebody getting fucked up. And Tyron, he's a shit talker, but you could tell he's not playing with this dude, son. He's going to come out to embarrass him, son.
I mean, if there wasn't a must-win in any kind of way for Tyron before, yeah, I think it just bears repeating again for emphasis. Tyron must win this fight, even though it's a fucking Andy Roddick. Shout out to him, I guess. Although I think niggas don't fuck with him anymore. Whatever. Andy Roddick once said, smartly, that playing with celebrities is like the hit and giggle. When they're on the court with you or whatever.
Is it the hit and giggle or is it the slap and tickle?
Essentially, Shout out to Monique. So she.
Well, I mean, I got that from Beer Fest, but yeah,
that was her, son.
Oh yeah, that was her.
That was her.
That was.
She's really good in that movie.
Nah, they had the strawberry bed. She was like, nah, you wanted me to lose weight and all that.
She was hilarious. But yeah, like Tyron needs this because this will determine. I guess to the people that matter, like the promoters, your Bellators, whoever, PFL, wherever he's going to go to fight, because clearly he wants to continue to fight. Boxing, whatever it is, like...
Yeah, he should box.
If he gets smoked in any kind of way or Jake survives...
I don't know how that happens.
Like, it would hurt him. It'll really hurt his image, his career, the perception of him, like...
Because, I mean, like, he beat your man, who was that, Ben Askren?
Yeah, but Ben has never been.
Ben has never been.
He's never been He's never been the hands dude. He wrestle fucks you. Like that's what he knows how to do. Like
he wasn't in his domain.
I'm sure he knows how to strike a little bit, but you saw how Mans came in. Like he was looking to get this money, son.
Wait, what did they? Well, I'll look it up. I don't even know what weight they fighting at because who gives a fuck?
Me neither.
I would assume
somewhere around anywhere from 170 in that area.
Yeah, I was gonna say that somewhere
because Tyron usually a UFC welterweight, so
yeah, I was gonna say somewhere like super heavyweight to not super heavyweight, excuse me, super middleweight. It'd be funny if they were super heavyweight.
That would be hilarious.
Niggas
is 245 slugging it.
No, they need to get that together, bro. Get two like fat motherfuckers that probably kind of know how to fight and. Stop playing these games,
There's no fat celebrity beef, son.
And you don't have any kind of boxing product if your heavyweight division ain't clicking. You know what I'm saying?
Why you think people are so hyper obsessed with Deontay and Anthony Joshua and this
22 excuses?
Tyson Fury, his 86 excuses.
Well, I mean, maybe his 21 questions.
I can't believe they really the man's made an iceberg about all the excuses. I didn't
22-minute videos.
I didn't know it ran that deep. Like I don't want to slip into boxing, but that shit was crazy.
Well, we slipping into a lot of areas, but we already slipped into. Well, we already in boxing right now.
Yeah, we're talking about a boxing sideshow here, but
don't worry about it, folks. We'll get to what we're talking about.
Nah, they know what it is. If they're still with us by now, they know what it is.
This is a snippet for what we do, especially when you talk about that wrestling, but. Yes, Deontay Wilder, and a lot of different congregations have made a lot of excuses for the man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, if it's that many shit, maybe 3 of them shits are true. I don't know about the trainer roofing him with muscle relaxers. That's a bit extreme.
His own trainer.
His trainer that he's been with, I don't know if he was with him since day one, but like I said earlier, he's definitely been with him for about 30 or at least 20 or 30 something fights, okay? Deontay, again, was undefeated. Then, the Tyson shit happened, so he had a draw, but his trainer would have made way more money fucking with him as opposed to making a side deal with the Tyson the Tyson fam, son. Like, Deontay is what the boxing world needed, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it like this, but, a big heavyweight of color. You don't got to be black. Shit, if he was a big Indian, hey, fuck it. A big Mexican, hey, why not? Shit, Cain Velasquez should have seen what's up years ago, but whatever. Not to mention Tyson Fury, his story is a good one. Definitely all the talent in the world. Somebody that was feeling himself a little too much, fell into the, cocaine is a hell of a drug. As he said, his life or his everyday life was a combination of mad coke, beer, and either mad McDonald's or a whole fucking pizza to itself. It's a lot of fucking pizza, man. But he is a big nigga. I mean, 6'8", 60 something. So he probably walks around like 300 pounds. I think he said at one point he was like 4 something.
Damn, son.
But I mean, again, he's 6'8". That's a big dude, son. That's a big dude. But Deontay had the wave. He had the we'll call it the Tyson appeal, just because I'm not that much of a boxing historian, but clearly you could say within the last 40 years, the best knockout artist till this day is still Mike Tyson. So, if you don't believe me, just ask the locks.
We was trying to figure out who's gonna stick Mike.
Yo, we gotta poke Mike.
Poke
Mike.
Who's gonna poke Mike? Jadakiss is hilarious.
Him and SP the Ghost.
So yeah, Tyron needs this bad. Like, he needs to hit this dude with a fatality or something. But
he needs to hit him with some Shao Kahn shit.
Especially after today. Like, you can't, and I get it, you gotta sell the fight, this and that, but like, if you really that heated, son, you better tear through him like Khabib tore through Conor after he talked shit about his pops.
Boy, his moms and his sister was ready to get it shaken, son.
I saw.
Shaking, boy.
I saw. He said it on camera. He's like, "Yo, I'll shake this whole place up."
Wait, where's Tyron from?
I don't remember.
Some hood in somewhere in U.S.
St. Louis?
Who?
St. Louis, maybe? I'm guessing right now like crazy.
I mean, that would make sense.
I want to say it's something like that, like the South or the Midwest.
Yep. We can do that.
I want to say something like that. Like,
you can find me in St. Louis. My brother Tyron. Now, he got to knock this dude out just because, you know what I'm saying? You can't, he has to knock him out just because of the mixtape.
Exactly. And to get more fights, I don't know. It's funny. I don't know if this will help or hurt him. Like, it already seemed like Dana don't fuck with this dude, so, do you really?
Oh, yeah, he's from Missouri, but he's from Ferguson.
Okay, so there you go. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Missouri is the show me state, man. I got an ex from I have an actual ex from St. Louis, but I won't go into that. Maybe in the Snake Pito.
The Snake Pito. Soon.
But no. Anything less than, not necessarily a knockout, but he got a little like Tyson against Roy, son.
Nah, you gotta have this man.
I need haymakers to the body.
He gotta at least have Jake running from him.
No, Jake has to piss blood.
Yeah,
for like 2 weeks after this.
That's all I'm saying. And if Jake somehow miraculously beats him,
because like the fight is only gonna be what, like 7 rounds?
probably. They usually only do 7 or 8. They don't do a full fight.
That shit shouldn't last 5 rounds.
Well, if Tyron is as mad as he claims and is showing, it shouldn't.
Yeah, nah, I need Tyron to come out. Well, he already said he was
guns blazing.
He already said he was like already on like 100% kill mode.
He got to pretend that that's Gilbert Burns in front of him or somebody like that.
He was talking to my mother.
Yeah. Fuck that. I don't play that.
This nigga was like, yo, he shouldn't have said nothing to my mother. He shouldn't even ask her what was 2 + 2. Tyron is a funny dude. He was like, yo, you a hoe and a half, nigga. To whoever was chopping it up with his mom, son. Like, you a hoe and a half, son.
Nah, he was moving like they were trying to calm him down. They're like, yo, chill. You're making it hot, chill.
You knew it was too many people
chill.
in between him and whoever he was talking to. You knew there was nothing going on.
Yo, chill. He looked like he would have fought everybody in the room, son.
No, he said he was about to shake that whole...
Yeah, shake this whole place.
He was like, Jake was out there with 15 dudes. He was like, I was only out there with like 6 dudes, and if you check the resumes of the dudes that are behind me, we don't need 15 niggas out here. So that means he had a couple of killers with him, man.
Of course.
I'm saying a couple of would-be killers, but I'm saying he is from the once again, he is from the Show Me State, and he is being tested right now in a way that he hasn't been tested since 2016.
Yeah, since he was on the come up before his run, and since then even, which has been like up and down.
Yes, sir.
So I really hope this works out for him, because this will springboard him to whatever his next thing is. Whether it's another run in the UFC, Bellator, PFL,
We'll see. But that's on Sunday. But tonight we're here to...
Good luck. That's all I'm saying to you, my guy. I know you listen to this show like devoutly. Good luck, my guy. We're pulling for you.
Shout out to all our other fans. We always try to keep you enticed, but this evening, once again, as the one of the most liquidity. That's a word, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm trying to make sure my degree is
it's getting that work. Right it's getting that work right now.
Those 5 hard years.
Flexing it,
Yeah, but about some good old wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And it seems to be turning the corner of not being sports entertainment anymore, but that good old wrestling.
With 3 S's?
3 S's and like 2 N's.
Wrasslin. The game. So, part of the reason, obviously, or not, I guess not obviously, but part of the reason or the thrust of this has come from the return of one CM Punk, Chicago-made Punk.
Chick Magnet Punk.
Chick Magnet Punk, that's right.
It would have been cool if it was Chicago-made.
What were the other ones? There was like a couple of other ones.
No, it was his shit. It was Chick Magnet.
It was
Punk.
Chick Magnet, Chicago-made, and then like a couple others I can't think of right now. But
I only know about like one other one.
I can't think of the others right now, but
it was something during his time when he was doing his real fucking purity shit. The long-haired Punk, basically. You know what I'm saying? With one of the Good Brothers before he was a Good Brother.
True indeed. But CM Punk has returned after a 7-year absence from the game. After saying infamously in that one video, "I'm never coming back to wrestling. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, ever." Like, whatever that is. Like, he wilded out, son. That shit was funny.
But he was saying that in regards to WWE.
Never, ever. Never, ever.
He was saying that in regards to the E.
But he's returned because, as he said seeing how the locker room kind of like treats each other, and how they specifically treated the Brody Lee situation, in that, like, even the internet, since the internet seems to know everything, because people are constantly leaking or disclosing or whatever, or
People are constantly leaking.
or shooting, you know.
They're leaking.
They're leaking. But he thought that was great that locker room kept Brody's like illness a secret, didn't, you know, give fuel to the rumors or anything. Like,
yeah,
really,
they respected him as a human being as opposed to a competitor
and their
employee.
colleague, and, you know, like all that.
Somebody, just another motherfucker they're giving a check to.
So he said that was a big influence, and obviously, you know,
R.I.P. Brody Lee.
R.I.P. to Brody Lee, son, the God.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt is on some bullshit if you don't go there, son.
Well, now I gotta call him Wyndham until Windham, son. Until we see what he decides to do when he is the Fiend again. But
the new Fiend should be a better version of bum ass Baron Corbin, son. So your man, the Fiend, should be a crackhead.
Nah, he should be like
the first wrestling crackhead.
He should be like the clown from Spawn, like just some terrifying like alley.
That would be hard though.
You know what I'm saying?
Violator.
Like, yeah, slash. Yeah, exactly. Like a combination of the two, and then he like violates niggas. How cool would that be?
I mean, and
it would be the anti-Fiend. Like, he doesn't need a cult or any followers. It's just him. You know.
But that's the whole thing though, because not necessarily because when something is organic, you can't ever like redo that. But that Bray Wyatt, that Eater of Worlds, he makes sense, and he made sense in regards to like his ultimate or like overall character. So him having some sort of faction, that has to happen because he has to have like some weird followers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot they could do with it if and when he shows up. Wherever it is he will show up. Again, presumably AEW, because that is the next highest level promotion.
No, you keep him single, whatever, and then you build that like long term.
Unless he just does some crazy shit. You imagine he just shows up in Japan or in the UK somewhere, just wilding. That would be funny. But
honestly, I mean that like especially if you're trying to create a new Fiend character, that shit would be ill if he's just popping up on some you know what I'm saying, trying to procure the championships of the universe. Yep. But he's not getting chips. He's just popping up.
He's just terrorizing the wrestling
like whoever,
world.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Even like in the indies, whoever like your hottest star is, who's like not the champion, or whoever's like on the come up, you have him pop out and just fuck them up real quick. So.
Yep, and then vanish.
But see, like, but that's a beautiful combination of the Fiend and the Eater of Worlds, though.
Yeah, that would be cool.
The Eater of Talent.
Eater of champions.
I mean, that's L too, but you know, you got to build to that.
Yeah. Either way, CM Punk returning was great. Me personally, because I watched it live. Not live, excuse me. I wasn't there. I watched it, live on TV. But like,
I was at work.
It was very emotional.
Breaking up drunken fights.
like you do, like professionals do. So yeah, like it was great. It was very emotional, Yeah,
the text you sent me at work was, I believe, not verbatim, but the words were somewhere in the realm of niggas are committing suicide and having heart attacks.
Yeah, it was.
And I already knew what you were saying, because it wasn't like they hid this shit. That would have been way better if they did it. If they didn't say nothing, there was no clues, and this nigga just showed the fuck up.
Yeah, but this way was still good, even if they knew.
It was emotional. It was emotional.
In a lot of ways, it was better. It was
Carl Thomas.
Then there's no. The fans can their excitement is
CM Thomas.
CM Thomas, Carl Punk, son. So he came out. The pop was huge. Huge. Huge is
an understatement.
Like, but it was so, because the fact that it was that loud through my TV, Like, I can only imagine what it must have been like to be there. They said
that reaction made Galactus look like a little bitch.
People said who were there, like, they said that the place was shaking, like, from the pop, like, and how much they were yelling and
No,
stuff.
I mean, look, and no, I ain't gonna lie. Like people making fun of these people for crying, and I ain't gonna lie. If you're making fun of them, you're kind of a lame
that's
for that.
some asshole shit.
No, it is because like they're the ones that are trying to protect this bullshit that's going on right now, because they know once AEW and what they're doing really, and it's already happening. Once that shift happens, then a lot of fucking niggas is gonna starve, man. It's gonna be a lot of starving Marvins out here, man.
And in addition to that, guys like that, that's the reason why you do this in the first place, that passion, that love.
Yeah, because ultimately, I mean, most of them are fans.
Like real, like devoted ass.
That's why you do that shit, man. You don't go into wrestling if
like
you're
I
not a
felt
fan.
I didn't cry, but I felt it. Like I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
This is cool.
Like, we talked about this, like,
and I wasn't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, same shit. Like neither one of us was really watching back then. My brother,
during the summer of Punk, that is.
Well, the quote unquote second summer of Punk. That was the real summer of Punk, but 2011. But yeah, the Dancing Bear definitely was watching back then, and you know his man who wrestles was watching. He's definitely a Punk head, but I ain't want nothing to do with wrestling back then. I'm not ashamed to say that. Kind of don't have nothing to do with it now. But,
me neither.
But,
yeah, it's annoying now, but
that is one of the things I do kind of not necessarily regret, but I'm like, damn, it would have been nice to have been around during that time. You know what I'm saying? But well, I mean, first of all, they said this is supposed to be the third summer of Punk, but you can't do that shit with like 2 weeks left in the summer. Now, if you want to swag it and do like the winter of Punk,
that'd be cool.
That'll be hard, son.
That seems to be what it's gonna be.
That'll be hard, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? He does some like real holiday season, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, if it's me, I'm not having him against Darby, but you started like around like mid-October and have him going like a crazy run from then till like February. Then you have the real winner of Punk, son. I don't want this to happen, but especially if it's like a crazy blizzard too, son. The blizzard of Punk.
That would be awesome. So yeah, it was cool. I mean, I don't have to really super go into his return, you know.
No.
He cut the cool emotional speech. It was nice.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm back." You know, he did the Tyson shit, you know, and the Jordan shit. I'm back. From.
Well, he had to. I mean, he's from Chicago. They were in Chicago.
They call it the first dance. You know, there's a lot of Jordan imagery, which I could appreciate as both a basketball fan and a wrestling fan in this return.
Well, because, you know, once again, Jordan has fucked the game up.
And so has Punk, you know what I'm saying? You see how the other companies have reacted almost immediately to his return, you know? So,
well, yeah. I mean, shit. And this is going to definitely jam shit up a little bit, but I have to pose this question. Is Punk's comeback as great as 23's?
It's a little too early to say that yet.
Just off reaction.
Yeah.
And anticipation.
Yeah, because it shows that.
Look, Jordan was away for a year and a half. This nigga was away for 7 years.
And saying I'm never coming back. But yeah.
Now, again, Punk ain't Jordan. I'm not saying that. But
it's similar.
The comeback.
No, it's similar in that he is one of those stars that is the crossover star. People love this dude. And it shows not only, it was in Chicago. It's his hometown. Of course, they popped like that. But
he's relatable, son. He's that fan that became a wrestler.
And moreover, other wrestling pundits and IWC niggas have made this observation, which is perfect, in that a show that they barely announced sold out, I think, in like an hour.
Just
not
off
even,
the thought of him being there.
He might be there. The rumor that he might be there. And this has happened before, you know, that other promotions have tried to get him. Other places have tried to tickle people's assholes by saying, "Oh, he might show up," you know, stuff like that.
Nah, this is one of them instances where I would believe, that wild shit. I forgot what it's called, but when all the fucking planets align. that's one of those, son. Like when like they're all in a straight line and they just like on some like cataclysmic shit, son.
Yeah. But just moreover, he clearly missed it, and he did want to come back, just not for Vince McMahon. Like,
No, he kept saying like he's like, "Nah, I heard y'all. I heard you. I heard y'all.
I know." He's
I
like,
know,
I know.
I heard everything I was saying.
Believe me, I know. And that was great, because in a way, and I understand, like, we wrestling fans, not us in particular, but we wrestling fans, I'm talking about in the generalized sense, are incredibly fickle and incredibly entitled, just like many other fandoms. And I can only imagine what it was like for this dude for all these years to hear how much of a, like, fucking piece of shit he is, and this and that, and he abandoned them. And all this stuff, like.
Oh no, I remember he addressed that, and he really was. And number one, and here's where Vinnie Mac and the WW Flea fucks up, man. You do not tell a superstar wrestler to go out and read a fucking script or memorize a script. This man walked out there. And again, that was what, a 20-minute promo?
Yep.
So it really only felt like maybe like 9 minutes, but
no, it flew by. I was locked in. Like, I was super locked in.
No, because, and again, like, that's the fucked up thing, because I'm not against sports entertainment, but when you don't capture the emotion, then it's not a sport, and then it's not a sport, nor is it entertainment.
So to your point, think about when he came back on WWE Backstage, and
that was the only reason I was watching.
Like,
well, with him and
that's the only reason anyone.
Him and of course, Paige.
Thick Paige, but
shout out to Paige.
And Renee was good on that too. Like they had some.
No, it was them too. Renee, Booker T.
Christian was on there before they.
I wasn't trying to see Christian.
Me neither, but he was on there. But like.
Yeah, but.
The point is that.
So Christian is like I fuck with Christian. I've seen him since day one when he was busting the puffy shirts. Christian is a Hall of Famer, but he's I ain't gonna call him the biscuits at Red Lobster, but now the cheddar biscuits at Red Lobster are good, but he's not the real main course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
And I fuck with him, son. He deserved every main event situation he got because the man put in work. But come on, son. Were we really hyped when he popped out, son?
Nah.
And he can still work. I'm glad he can, but
yeah,
come on, son.
It wasn't like
he's not outworking everybody
compared to who they could have come out with. It was just very like, okay, that's cool, I guess.
But that is an incredible lead-in. I'm glad I said it into our actual fucking theme, which 33 minutes into this cast we've finally gotten to, which is
CM Punk deserves some time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a big deal.
Oh no, Punk did. But,
and I just wanted to wrap him up real quick. With one, I look forward to seeing him going forward. I hope he doesn't injure himself or anything bad like that.
And again, that's why I would just had him.
I wish he was wrestling Kenta or was just a commentator at first.
See, again, no.
But that's that. I'm not booking.
When you put it that way, Darby is a pretty good warm up for Kenta. He can't just go to Kenta, son. Not after like 7 years.
But you're kind of in a weird corner, right? Like because he can't.
Not with him.
He can't lose. And even though I'm not saying that he's not going to be willing to put Darby over.
Yeah.
But it hurts Darby a little for him to lose to CM Punk, even though it is CM Punk.
That's why I don't jump to that. I
understand. They just wanted to put the hottest young guy over. And Jungle Boy is busy with the tag team division because that's their other guy that they like. So they didn't
That'd have been a nice one, but either one of them shits would be rushed, though, man.
Honestly. The next one I can only think of beyond that is Orange, and that would be fun, but...
I'm not putting him... Like, you know what? Honestly...
But Orange doesn't talk, so it's like...
You know what? And that's
he could carry it. I'm just saying that, like...
Yeah, especially if Punk is the hill, he could definitely carry it.
I don't want to see that match, personally. Like,
Look, if it's me, again, if I'm fantasy casting right now... If it's me, I'm keeping Punk on the mic for at least like a month and a half to like 2 months. You tease shit, and I may, if I do give him a match within them 2 months, it's like 2 matches on dark, just to fuck with niggas a little bit. Then I set him up with maybe a Sunny Kiss on a Rampage on Friday, just because he kind of has a name or whatever. Then you start building those names up against then you start fucking with your Jungle Boys, your Darbys.
It's perfect because he's then on a run.
Then you
build up that like, oh, you're just, because the heel face will be like, oh, you're just an old man.
Yes.
You're washed up. You ain't got it no more.
But like the way they finesse shit, and if we're keeping the real sports aspect, the emotion of it, Punk coming in to face shit, even Kenta at like 10-0. That's a story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, shit, even just whoever, just Darby.
Long in the making.
They're feeding for the Darby shit. So him coming in 10-0 against Darby
that makes sense.
Yeah, because then the crowd is rocking with
especially Punk. If Punk beats Sting first, to like make it more personal for Darby.
I may have done that.
Because Sting is now apparently wrestling again, so it would be nothing for Punk to squash him. To enrage Darby, and then you have stakes, you have motivation for why they should wrestle, besides the fact that he's 10-0, you know.
I'm with that. If they were doing the Punk Hill situation, he's definitely more of a face right now.
Well, I think he's gonna come at it, and I like this, and I hope this is what they do. And I don't want to talk about him too much because this is not really why we put this episode together.
Oh, no. You know what I mean, just a little promo. You know, stay tuned for the All In, All Out.
Yeah, we're at the end of the world. I guess is that the title? Is that what we're calling it right now?
We're all the way in. We all the way out. Breathing.
And then we're all the way in again, deep.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, we'll talk more about that then. But what I will say is that it will behoove them to have Punk see these as like, it's not about heel or face for him. It's about let him talk his shit and challenge himself in the ring against these people. To see, whoever it is, heel or face or whoever.
Yeah. No,
that's it. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And you see what you get. If he still got it, then great. You know, that can sell itself.
But again, that's why and especially since he claimed that he's trying to get back to pro wrestling. That's why I'm putting him on Dark. Word? All right, boy, you don't start off on Dynamite. Yeah, you see him Punk, but nigga, you been on the shelf for 7 years.
Yeah, no, or some nigga on Dark or Dark Elevation or Rampage.
Right, maybe not 2 matches, but 1 match on Dark.
No, someone who's good on there challenges him, because like, you know, he's just on the mic, you know, doing his thing, and one of them is like, you know, you niggas, you think you hot shit, but you're washed, and then he washes them.
They clearly created Rampage for him in the way that these niggas created SmackDown for The Rock. Rampage is in it. Not to say that it should become his show, but they created that shit for him. So.
I still feel more like Rampage is their Thunder.
No, it is,
but they're gonna try to do better with it.
It is,
but did with Thunder.
Once, like you just said, bro, they call the shit, or they called when he popped out the first dance. So, you know what I'm saying.
We'll see.
I won't say that they created the show for him, but it's definitely going to be influenced. He never really had the book, so I don't know if I would give him the book off the back. But at some point, CM Punk is one of them individuals that should be in that role.
Yeah, he should be like a producer or an agent, you know, someone like that. Because then he could teach the next generation, you know, the ins and outs, man.
Arguably the... Damn. I don't know if I could throw that out there. I was about to say he's arguably the best Heyman man or Heyman guy, but...
There's a lot of Heyman guys.
It is, man. Both, like, in the ring and behind the scenes.
Maybe that's a future list. We'll do best Heyman guys.
Top of the list is Roman Reigns.
Your man Roman, of all people, the irony, son. Roman Reigns.
Oh, shit, boy. The way shit is going, he'll definitely be the most lucrative one.
True. Well, no, because Brock has made so much money for the company.
Oh, so, Brock?
Yeah.
But Reigns got the he got the hair and the looks.
Like Reigns was already making money for them before Heyman got linked with him, so
but
he just enhanced it. He enhanced what was there.
The one thing that Reigns has over Brock is that he's brown
and relatable and younger, honestly. But
and he played some actual meaningful football.
But no, tonight's list tonight.
The list.
Fucking tonight, the list. Well,
what we call this the liquid list.
It's not even really. I guess it is a list. It's not like these aren't ranked in any particular order.
The list of liquidity.
This is just so I guess that's our new segment, the list of liquidity. I gotta come up with like a title card or some shit. So much work to do, but
so much.
But tonight, because of CM Punk's return, we thought about best like wrestling jumps, where a wrestler kind of just shows up, either in the crowd,
a good pop
out from under the ring, or a run-in, something like that.
No, not a run-in, but they show. Well,
the run-in counts as it because a lot of those are just run-ins where it's like, who's that? Oh my god, and they interfere in the match. And those I feel are like some of the best ones.
You definitely just reminded me of one. It's not really a run-in, but I'm gonna throw it out there soon. All I'm gonna say is that it's awesome.
But yeah, they're usually they surprise you is the point. Like they try to surprise you with their appearance, whoever it is, especially if you know who they are, like right away.
And I mean, that's what the game's been missing, the suspense.
Yeah, AEW's been good at this lately. Like Jamie Hayter, for example, just appeared, out of nowhere, to like kind of spice up the women's division. I'm trying to think of various other niggas who like just appeared. John Moxley, very early on in AEW.
That's a good one.
He just appeared. He's just there. So yeah. We kind of like compiled a list of a couple, and we assumed that a couple would also show up.
We compiled a pile of some bullshit.
So again, in no particular order, I guess we'll just kind of go down some a little bit. The first one is the Radicals.
The Radicals.
I'm not gonna have like times and places for that. Again, I know we're trying to be professional, but
no, it was definitely a Raw at some point in 2000.
So yeah, the Radicals, for those of you who don't know, were Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and fourth
boy,
the man himself, Eddie Guerrero.
Boy.
So, I blanked for a second. Sorry, I've been drinking a little bit.
First of all, he should have been the first one. But
I feel bad. I'm sorry, Eddie. R.I.P. But
50% of them are gone. But yeah, R.I.P.
So those four were like the first, like major like stars.
No. Again,
they weren't seen as major, but we saw them as major. Like
not even that. Again, like
that was like your whole mid card, like for WCW right there, basically.
Again, if you go that route, you have to start with Jericho before them, son. Because Jericho is the one that
he paved the way. So
he was the conductor of that WCW.
I only just went with them because they were written first on my list here.
Oh yeah. But I mean, yeah,
I don't want to forget.
It's a clusterfuck, but
yeah.
But no, he definitely is the one that really made that first ill like WCW jump in regards to like dudes that you knew were like you knew WCW was holding him back. And those of us that watched back then, the night he showed up while The Rock. Now again, you can't just interrupt a Rock segment or a Rock promo, okay? You don't just do that, all right? Your tongue game gotta be real on the mic. You know what I'm saying?
What was crazy about that for me, as a dork who was on, early internet, in that year, the sheet,
Summer of '99.
Yeah, the sheets had kind of like spoiled it already. That it was gonna be Chris Jericho. Like it was like heavily strongly.
But yo, that's one of those instances where everything aligned. Everybody was fiending for him to leave. They knew he was leaving. There was so much fucking disgruntlement. I don't know if that's a word, but there was a lot of disgruntled individuals in the WCW locker room. So of course niggas is talking. Shit, Chris Jericho may have been talking, but
probably, especially since they, as he has often said, they didn't treat him in WCW like he was worth it or like was gonna make it or anything like that. That he was just funny, and that was it.
He wasn't a main eventer. He wasn't in Goldberg's league.
The nigga Big Goldberg. The dude he hit with the front headlock and Goldberg couldn't get out.
The nigga that almost killed Undertaker. The nigga that ended Bret Hart's career.
Ended the great Bret Hart's career, son. The nigga that ruined this year's SummerSlam with his bullshit, son. I don't want to say ruined. It's a little extreme, but that match was cheeks.
Boy, you know what I'm saying? His son kind of almost saved it, son.
Kind of, but it was still cheeks. It doesn't need to happen in the first place. It's almost like
look, at this point, his son is a way better actor than your man Dominic.
But it comes across as a slap in the face again from McMahon. And I don't want to delve into this too much, but like, fans want the Bobby Lashley Brock Lesnar match. Yeah. And you deliberately keep it from them and have them appear on the same card but not together.
They won't even be on the same show.
It's incredible. Like, and I could speculate maybe Lesnar doesn't want to wrestle him. I don't know. But like,
you know what? But at the same time, it's beautiful because Bobby is already on his way to becoming like the angry black man. So if he becomes like the ultimate angry black man of WWE, son, like
not gonna do much for him though.
No, yes he will, cause look, he could do some ill shit. Listen, bro, just flow with me for a second. He could reopen the Hall of Pain, bring back Mark Henry, fuck MVP, and just have Mark Henry being like the ill, maniacal, fucking big, fucking insane manager that turns Bobby into the true monster that he needs to be. So.
That is a lot of fantasy booking, especially since Mark Henry's an AEW employee now, so that doesn't matter.
True indeed.
Like, they wouldn't ask him to come back. They're petty. Yeah,
but pettiness, when pettiness is erased when desperation kicks in.
It wouldn't happen. Like, that's how petty they are.
Yeah.
It just would not happen.
Well, shit, you don't have to bring Mark back. Just reopen the Hall of Pain, son.
That is something you can do because he doesn't own that. But I don't trust in them. It's not I don't trust in Bobby because Bobby is proving that he can be interesting, especially as a heel, which is where he should have always been.
But he still needs a mouthpiece, though.
Which is fine. Like
MVP, unless he's a face. When he's a heel, he needs a mouthpiece.
MVP was perfect, like, for this, like, in general. Yes, like, again, their mistake was breaking up the Hurt business in the first place, which kind of like took the edge off Bobby as a leader of a stable.
And for what it's worth, in regards to our liquid list, that I remember watching that Raw after that WrestleMania of 2018 when Bobby first popped out.
Yeah,
he got a good pop. So
people like him. He's just
so it wasn't. It was a jump because nobody was really talking about it extensively. You kind of was like, all right.
And people had assumed that he was going to come back to Impact or continue to fight.
Because he left. He probably left at the apex of his run.
Where he was on. He was over. When he was belt collecting. When he was wilding.
Yeah. But, his run and Brother Brian Cage's run were kind of coincided. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to finally go back to the E.
And be successful because that first run was whack. So,
But yeah, I need that headband Bobby back, son.
All I'm saying is, like, they're like so many others, they're fronting on certain things to fuck with us on purpose. Like, because they take pleasure, clearly, out of doing so.
Pleasure.
Because you wouldn't, again, you're literally throwing away money. Like, you're shooting yourselves in the foot and not doing this. Like, this is a slam dunk. But
and pissing off a lot of moguls and corporations.
yeah, people used to want to be able to invest in you when your deals are up, your TV deals are up, your current TV deals are up. But anyway, getting to the list. So the Radicals are great. 4 Hall of Famers, even Perry, even though niggas front on Perry. Excellent wrestler.
Shout out to Perry.
R.I.P. You know.
No, he's still alive. He's just broke.
R.I.P. He might as well be R.I.P. son.
Nah, the niggas had a GoFundMe for Perry Saturn.
I know. I felt bad for him, son. Like, it's Perry Saturn, son.
Yeah, what the fuck is Moppy, son?
Dead, remember, in the wood chipper, son. They killed Moppy.
Was that Moppy? I thought that was Pepe.
No, they cooked Pepe. The
No,
big
not
boss
Pepe.
man.
I'm talking about Chavo's Pepe.
No, his Al Snow was Pepe. Had Pepe.
No. Remember in
and
going off that Chavo and WCW,
and
he had
he-
the broomstick. With,
the
with
horse.
The
Yeah,
that was
the broomstick
Pepe.
horse. I don't know.
That was the original Pepe.
I feel like I got broken or something. Like
No, the dog was Pepper.
That's right. The dog was Pepper, and it got fed to Al Snow. And then they had the infamous Kennel from Hell match after that. But
yeah, one of the worst.
we're not
going
to talk about the Kennel from Hell match right now. But
one of the worst matches ever.
Poor Al Snow. He shout out to Al Snow. You're the man.
No, he's running OVW right now. So.
Yeah, no, he's doing good. He looks great too. This nigga's ripped.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy. But
it's amazing how when motherfuckers get away from Vince, they look better.
Their souls. It's a soul. It's a mental thing. You know, like
when Drew McIntyre left and came back, mad swole, hairy, beard,
all
long
the
hair.
swag. You know, super hot free agent.
His voice was.
He was feeling
deeper.
good. Yeah. Like, and now look at him. Look at this dude.
Yeah. He's gonna start looking like that whatever that was, that 08 Drew.
The skinny Drew with the button up.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Radicals were cool. It was like the opening salvo in dudes jumping from WCW to the E, or I guess at the time the F.
And again, we like at that point as fans, we all saw that shit coming because WCW was WCW.
They were struggling, son. They were struggling.
Word life.
Under the reign of Eric Bischoff, and then before him, your man.
Never give up.
Nah, your man.
Russo.
Kevin Sullivan. Russo was later.
But even when all right, Sullivan. Well, Sullivan was Sullivan.
Yeah. But no, still more Russo and Eric Bischoff than anything else. And they ran it into the ground. What can I say? So these guys saw that and they knew what their value was, and luckily the E didn't bury them too much. They did initially, but not too much.
They didn't really bury them. What happened was
all four men were still featured pretty prominently. Like,
but remember, like Eddie got injured on like I think an episode of SmackDown. He fucked his elbow up, and that's what kind of held them back a little bit. So, but it was like, all right, fuck it. They probably would have pushed Eddie, but then they started pushing Chris. Then remember, Chris started getting his shit off against like Jericho, getting the IC chip. Then, you know, he had his little summer run against like The Rock, and then, you know, Triple H and all
that's
these
the Toothless Aggressions and the Toothless Aggression era.
Toothless Aggression.
So they did nicely for themselves. So that's why we picked them, because that was a big deal, you know, to see that talent. Like I said a little while ago, that was like the top of the mid card of WCW just left, like WCW for the E.
Yeah, I mean it was the bulk of their mid card outside of having DDP
like the best wrestling,
DDP and Booker T.
But those guys are like kind of they count as the main event. You know, they were they were the upper. They were
they were the upper mid card.
They were the bottom of the top. You know, like so like.
And yeah, we talking about dudes that were constantly held back for whatever reason.
Booker T would have also been in this list, but they didn't surprise us with him. They announced him, so like.
No, they didn't. And that's a good one. That's a good one. No, that's a good one.
Did he appear? He jumped in, right?
No,
like,
yeah. During the triple threat match at it was either King of the Ring 01 or because it was June. It was King of the Ring 01. We came out with the the beige colored shirt, and he threw Stone Cold through the table.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn, I'm mad I forgot that one, son.
So there you go, Booker T. I knew something.
That was a good one. I'm mad I forgot about. That's a good one.
So Booker T kind of goes with the Radicals on this one.
It was WCW, some bitch. That one. And that's when. First of all, that's the first time I had truly understood how strong Booker T was when he just
hurled Stone Cold.
Lightly threw Stone Cold through the fucking table.
So, for those who don't know, Booker T came a little later. He famously, like many other people, held out WCW talent.
WCW, bitch.
They decided to ride out their contracts.
Five time.
Especially those who were being well paid because they knew Vince was going to bury them or lowball them or whatever.
Shout out to Stevie Ray.
So they didn't make the jump immediately. Booker T was one of those until, I guess that contract ran out. And, dudes got to work. They got to pay bills. So he came back. It was awesome. Even though Triple H famously buried him in that whole people like you don't become champion.
WrestleMania 19.
With one pedigree.
Even though Booker T hit the crispy Houston, Harlem hangover, but he called it the Houston hangover.
At that point, you could call it the Houston hangover.
On one leg, son.
Yeah, Booker T should have won the title then, but it's fine. It was still a great.
Not then, but definitely like maybe I like Backlash.
Definitely then, because the impact would have been so huge, like so big for him to win the title.
Considering who Triple H was.
Over Triple H, the most dominant figure in wrestling at that time.
That's my point, though. Him doing that at any point against Triple H would have been a big deal.
Yeah, but then
whether WrestleMania
then would have been best because Booker T hadn't been like a face in such a while, like that you could take seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that was
remember this nigga was GI Bro, like at the end of his WCW run. So
yeah, I ain't got no time for that. And that was right before the and this shit was hilarious. Wait. Yeah, that was right before the Gold Dust, the Booker Dust.
Book Dust, which is a hilarious team name.
A hilarious team, but an incredibly talented team.
And it sounds like a drug.
Great wrestlers.
It sounds like a crazy drug you do. I'm off that Book Dust. Know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna hold you and niggas would hate this, but Vince would never do it. But if you could put like Booker Dust on like a baggie.
Oh my God! Just him like Booker T with his arm, or no, Gold Dust with his arm around Booker T.
You need Booker T with the big slave eyes, and then you need Gold Dust like dressed up like.
Didn't he wear the paint one time? Didn't he do the Gold Dust paint one time? I feel like he did.
He might have right before they broke up.
Yeah.
That might have been on some SmackDown, maybe SummerSlam. I don't remember.
I feel like he did the Gold Dust paint. So that was hilarious. But let's move on the list because. More time elapsed than I expected. This is your fault, Jake Paul, you piece of shit.
Well, we are a sports podcast.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Well, a sports/life podcast.
More podcasts, more content is not bad. And, dudes are warmed up.
Stay tuned for the Snake Pit, though.
Soon.
We've been hearing y'all. We been seeing y'all comments.
The clamoring.
You know what I'm saying?
The endless clamoring.
Yeah. I talk too much about sports. This, that, and the third. Listen, we're looking for guests right now, all right? We don't just...
Yeah, it can't just be us all the time.
You know
we got to keep things interesting.
We need other sexy voices, you know what I'm saying? So, stand by.
So next on my list here is I have Chris Jericho because you already mentioned him. Excellent segue. Y2J, that is a famous debut.
It was beautiful because of the timing, 99. We were dealing with the Y2K situation. The countdown. Nobody knew, unless you were deep into the sheets.
No one knew it was Chris Jericho.
You would have had to been Ron Isley.
I don't want to say no one. I would say the average fan didn't know it was Chris Jericho. Or if you didn't watch WCW, because then there was still that divide. There was folks, I'm either a WCW guy or I'm a WWF guy.
You know what? Look, I would agree with you, but not in '99.
No, I feel like overall,
not after the finger push of death.
I feel like overall wrestling was popping, so people.
The finger push of death and the night that they fronted on Foley winning the chip.
Yeah, when they spoiled it, but
shout out to the Monday Night Wars.
But the point is, I flip back and forth between both. You know what I'm saying? And if like Raw was particularly bad that night, then I would stick on Nitro. And if Nitro sucked that night, I'd be on Raw.
I had to, boy, because again, son, like
when it was a commercial on one, I flipped to the other. You know, that's it.
But I had to, boy, soon because again, you had cable way longer than I did. Son. So as soon as we got cable for the first time, and then we got that good old hot box. You know what I'm saying? I had to flip back and forth because at that point, I was a fucking wrestling junkie, son. Well, not a wrestling junkie, but because, I couldn't be I was too young to be in the sheets.
Well, it's like you said, like wrestling, not only wrestling fandom was hot then, like the wars were going on. So you were jumping back and forth between shows. Like I said,
boy, like you knew shit was real when...
You were, again, speaking of this list right here, you were flipping back and forth between shows because somebody from another show would show up on the other show or vice versa.
Or you just didn't know. Because, honestly, bringing that shit up, back when the WWE Network was actually a good product, the weirdest night I felt outside of seeing Vince McMahon on Nitro was... watching I don't know if it was that pay-per-view they had in 9/7 in Great Britain when the Bulldog had his sister there who was suffering from cancer and Shawn Michaels jerked him. It was some pay-per-view in 9/7. But Rick Rude was at the pay-per-view with DX. Then this motherfucker showed up on Nitro the next night.
Yeah, that's they talk about that in lists all the time.
All day.
I think he's the only one who did that. He's the only guy to show up on one show and then the other in the same day.
Him and Lex Luger.
Yeah, because they didn't count DX when they tried to invade.
All right, that's a totally different situation. But that would be if they did more crossover shit. And fuck Eric Bischoff because he's a bitch.
Chris Jericho famously talked about that, right? Open the gate.
No,
open
that's
that
Kevin
gate.
Nash. That's
Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash. Open the gate.
Jericho was like, yo, are they going to let him in? Like, I hope they let him in. Like, yo, let them in. Kevin Nash was like, he was literally on the other side of the fucking gate being like, yo, let them in, son. Like, yo, pull the gate up. Let them the fuck in because this is good TV. We need this.
They did need it. They really did, though.
Everybody that knew something about something was like, yo, let them in. And Eric Bischoff was the one that was like...
Just let this happen.
He was so scared, son.
I know. He was too pussy. So Y2J, excellent promo. The Rock, sold him and put him over in such a way.
And that was the end of the countdown, which had gone on for
months. Yeah, months.
And because it started on some it was days, then hours. Then The Rock had came out, and then the countdown came out. Niggas was like, oh, shit.
Oh, the countdown's over, yeah.
Word. And then, and I love that episode of Monday Night Countdown on the WWE Network, because Chris Jericho was like, it's cool to get their perspective. Much like when Hogan was talking about as he was walking out, before Hogan is the third man. Jericho was like he was waiting in Gorilla. And y'all, if y'all listening to this and y'all wrestling fans, y'all don't know what Gorilla is, and I don't know what to tell y'all. But Gorilla is right behind where the wrestlers come out. It's right backstage, but right before they come out, the music hit. Right before they go through the curtains, that's Gorilla. They call it Gorilla because of the legend, the Hall of Famer, one of the best announcers, commentators. The original commissioner that I knew, good old Gorilla Monsoon.
Well, after Jack Tunney. They made him the
Jack
commissioner.
Tunney was the, I don't know if he was the president, but he was
like the head nigger.
Yeah. But either way,
because they wanted to keep Vince McMahon as the secret owner, the secret owner.
Vinnie Mac. They definitely should give that position to Undies, a.k.a. Undertaker, but that's a different podcast for a different night.
He was on Joe Rogan. I want to see that episode, but I don't want to get Spotify. But he had a whole episode with The Undertaker. I got to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
And that GSP episode, because I didn't get to see the whole thing. But
incredible.
So Y2J was the shit. I watched it live. It was fantastic. Even knowing, and this is why part of the reason I wanted this on the list, because, again, going back to the CM Punk thing, they knew he was coming out.
No, that's what I was about to say. When he was in Gorilla, and as the countdown ended, nobody knew what was going on, but he was like, it was cool because, and this is some ill shit. His band, I always call him Fuzzy, but Fozzy, they made Break the Walls Down. So he had his own song to his own video, and he was like, nobody knew what was going on, but as soon as Jericho came across the screen, niggas lost their fucking minds.
The pop was huge.
Then you see him with the sparkly, we were still in the shiny suit
and
era.
the arm spreads, son, with the mic
swag.
in his hands.
Boy, that is swag. That might have to be the thumbnail.
Even though he stole the Raven pose, like, he made it look mad cool, son.
No, he swagged it, bro. Like that was like.
And the best part of that is, again, niggas in the crowd had Raw is Jericho signs.
Those are the motherfuckers that were
like, they knew, like,
much like the motherfuckers that were in the front row at Rampage that had the fucking CM Punk, his new logo,
his
the
shirt,
flag,
already,
the flag,
son,
not the shirt, the flag. Son.
Yeah, well, that's just the Chicago flag, so it wouldn't be hard to do it.
No, the Chicago flag is the blue, the stripe.
That's
shit
what I'm
with
saying,
with the
4
4 stars.
With the 4.
But I'm talking about the shit with the 2 fists crossed.
Well, I just assumed that those are people who knew him, because there are people that he knew on the way to the arena.
Yeah, of course. Nah, really, ultimately, all they did was just bite off the WWE shit, because his T-shirt and that shit was just the Thunder shit with the Chicago flag.
Yeah.
But, I don't blame him for that, but, it was some swaggy shit, man.
It was. So same thing with Jericho. But I also wanted to mention real quick his Painmaker phase from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
When he just suddenly appeared in Japan and fucked niggas up, and that was fantastic.
And, the Jericho, I mean, the list of Jericho is definitely one of the best, I want to call it a gimmick, but one of the best ideas within we're in a new decade, but, within the 2010s.
And it was kind of a remix of the old list of Jericho with all the submissions he knew, the 1,004 holds he knew. So I like that he brought that back, but like put a twist on it.
Once again, shout out to Dean Malenko. He definitely.
Yeah, I know we didn't talk about him much, but he was in the Radicals. Like he's a. Dean Malenko was that dude.
The Iceman.
The Iceman. They ruined his career with that, like, I want to fuck Lita storyline. Because they should have.
Yeah, but we all wanted to
made him
Lita, though.
Yeah, that's fine, but that wasn't him. Like, they made him into a creep. Like, and it didn't work.
No, like, if they like, he probably would have been able to carry that 007 spa shit they was doing.
Yeah, I guess.
Had they not did that leadership.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't talk a lot, so that would work.
It took all the air out of that. Like, it was so disgusting. And props to him for just rolling with it, but, like, it was fucked up, man. It ruined his career. Like, it really did.
It was wiggity whack.
So, yeah, Jericho as the Painmaker was great. Taking advantage of Kenny, who at the time was the hottest nigga in wrestling besides Cody. And it was awesome. Like, that shows a savvy mind, like a savvy wrestling mind to do such a thing. Because he didn't have to do that. He could have just stayed in the E and continued to do the dumb creative shit that they were having him do.
Yes.
But instead, he chose to broaden his horizons, and he made it work. Like, it wasn't corny. It wasn't stupid. Like, they had a match that looked brutal. They put over Kenny because he put him over. Like, it was wonderful. Like,
no, like,
it put a shot in the arm to Chris Jericho so that when he appeared in AEW, it was believable. Like, Chris Jericho wasn't washed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and like, honestly, and just looking back at that time, I wasn't as invested in New Japan, so it was a time with which, like, I heard about Kenny Omega, and I mean, arguably, I guess most people would say his the year with which everybody would have called him like the best wrestler in the world was probably maybe 2017, or whenever he like had his New Japan championship run. But having Jericho pop out, not knowing shit about Wrestle Kingdom or nothing about that, it was ill because until I saw Fat Jericho in AEW, Chris Jericho was still somebody that I had a very high esteem for. I mean, I still do, but now it's just more WCW Jericho.
I mean, I still do as well. I just, his MAGA shit really unnerved me. Not even so much the wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
I like that, he still got it. He definitely still got it in all ways.
I don't know about that.
He does. Even in the ring, even though he can't do a lion salt anymore, when he tries, I'm so scared for him. But, like, I really am. But, like, otherwise, again, if Ricky Morton could still be wrestling and PCO is still wrestling and dudes like that, like...
And that good old Ric Flair
is it
comeback.
really... Exactly. Ric Flair just put a dude in a figure 4 and he's like 120, 3 weeks ago.
That was Kenny.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Kenny, he put Kenny in the figure... I thought he put another nigga in the figure 4. No, it was Kenny.
That was Kenny.
So there you go.
Flair chopped him like twice and... Whatever that Triple Mania shit was.
Exactly. So shout out to AAA Wrestling.
Shout out to Andrade. Shout out to Malachi. I understand why he's having that program with Cody. If I'm programming or setting that up, I'm just having him come out and just kicking mad random niggas during matches, and then he kicks Cody. But
if anything, and I know this is a little Markish here, but I'm just gonna put this in real quick.
Well, we're fully invested in Mark mode now, so.
Well, because it doesn't have anything to do with the list, and I just want to finish the list. But going back to AEW.
But I mean, look, Malachi is part of that list, though.
Yeah,
he's another one I forgot about.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
more recent, but
I guess you could say he did jump, quote unquote. Like.
And according to your man JD. Malachi is kind of the first one that started that Chris Jericho lure.
Well, think about it, right? It makes sense. He was very well liked in the locker room by most folks.
And he doesn't seem like he's an asshole.
The man formerly known as Aleister Black / Tommy End, now Malachi Black.
Should have been Malachi West.
Or Malachi End.
Or Malachi.
But I guess he has some unfinished business with the Black name, so he figured he would go with it.
That and he knows he's more marketable because
niggas know him as Aleister. Exactly. So
the Black and the Black does that's his character.
Yeah, and he wanted to explore it, this Dark Father shit. So
he's the wrestling vampire.
But either way, think about what it was for him. He was trying to escape. He finally escaped, even though he wanted to make it work where he was at in the E.
Meanwhile, his wife is still on the Death Star.
Well, she went back there, as we now know, because they thought she thought they were gonna re-up him, re-up with him too, which is why she went back there. And then they fronted on him.
And she fell for that.
She did. So now she's kind of trapped. I don't know how long her contract is, but now she's trapped in the Evil Empire.
Oh, no, boy. She trapped for at least 4 years, son.
At least. And unless she does something to get fired again or let go. But
nah, boy. All she not going to do is just pull a Dawn Marie on SmackDown.
Word, the kimono, son. She just pulls the kimono, son.
But, kimono didn't show she ain't showed the goods. She just teased niggas.
I mean, she basically showed them titties, son. Because it was pay-per-view. So,
but she ain't showed the goodies, though.
That's true. Not like Dawn. So
Dawn showed the goodies on UPN.
She basically was like, fuck you, I'm out.
Shout out to UPN for that.
Shout out to Dawn Marie.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm not mistaken, boy, based upon the conversation we had the other night, she's your top of the top from ECW.
She's definitely one of my favorites.
Shout out to Kimona.
Kimona Wanalea, wherever you are. You were a formative part of my childhood. And I guess my sexuality. But, Yeah,
that does make a lot of sense now that I think about it. But, yeah, I didn't have cable, nor did I see those pay-per-views back then. But seeing them old school tapes are, I couldn't imagine being there that night, smoking a blunt and watching a, not really script, but
essentially script.
As your man Devon said, niggas was poking holes in the paper walls, peeking through, watching a strip, son. Yeah, she's mad cool for doing that, son.
Exactly. People remember it. We remember it. So, shout out to Kimona. Next one I got on the list is Paul White's Well.
It's the big show.
Although this was before he was the big show.
Big bad tonight now. Well. As The Rock said.
He really did like the hand and everything, y'all. Like the Rock hand. So that shit was hilarious.
One of the.
It's funny how The Rock keeps figuring into a lot of these. Like, he put these guys over, even though he embarrassed them. He put them over in such a way, like, that made them like matter.
One of the rivalries that they never really finessed was definitely him and Guerrero. There would have been a little too much swag for them. But that would have been incredible matches, though, man. And incredible promos.
The Rock definitely would have did some Spanish promos somewhere. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah, because The Rock probably knows how to speak Spanish on the low, but he just doesn't because he's The Rock. I think he's waiting to become president. Then he's going to be like, "Que lo que?"
Exactly. KLK, my people. I mean, there's not much to say about Paul White. Like, you know, he kind of did the "It's Gotta Be Kane" type of debut. He just appeared.
Yeah, he came through the ring
with the big ass black jeans and big ass black shirt.
Well, that pay-per-view was definitely one of the. Well, shit, I can say that every fucking pay-per-view in the year of '99 was a good one, but that was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. For those of you that don't know, and that's one of the few times. I may have to do some research. I don't really care enough to do it, but fuck it. That's the only time I remember them having a pay-per-view on Valentine's Day night, and that's back in the day when you could really have a fucking date at a fucking WWF show. Excuse me, WWE.
Was WWF New York open then? Could you take a date to WWF New York at the time? Like, I don't think so. I don't remember if it was open.
They may have. I remember them being open in 2000. But they may have opened in like late '99 or like early 2000. But they were in the midst of creating that shit. St. Valentine's Day Massacre was obviously in February. So
there you go. Marks in the chat and comments. Let us know because we know y'all are historians out there.
And fuck it. I'm saying we're trying to thrill. We're trying to thrill in Manila, but Paul White throws Stone Cold through the cage after the whole Vince McMahon scandal. Royal Rumble '99. Shit, that pay-per-view deserves its own podcast, but fuck it. Stone Cold gets thrown through the cage. The cage breaks. I believe that's the last time they had the like that regular old school cage without having like that top silver shit to kind of keep it reinforced.
Yeah.
And of course Stone Cold wins. Mr. Man is there bleeding and on his knees, crumbling and in pure agony, and that was the birth of the Big Show.
There you have it. So that was cool, especially since it was such a cool appearance because you knew who he was immediately. He's so huge.
It wasn't broadcasted again unless you were deep into the dirt sheets.
Yeah, you didn't know he was coming, and even then, like, it was still obscure.
It was just a lot of like,
it was it was a rumor,
Yeah,
like,
a lot of gossip.
So speaking of somewhat, memorable to another memorable moment, you got Medusa,
AKA Alundra Blaze.
AKA Alundra Blaze in the E when she showed up on Nitro that one time
with the pink belt
with the WWF Women's Championship and dropped that shit in the garbage on live national television. I always thought she was fine as hell. She was super fine in that moment because she was like, fuck Vince, basically.
I ain't gonna lie, boy. I kind of like old Medusa now, son.
Yep. But speaking of that moment, I think that's partially why, I guess aside from obvious reasons with the no-compete clause, that they made sure that champions don't, leave the company with belts. because then they can't show up somewhere else with that belt.
I think that was that may be like the reverse Ric Flair shit, son. When he showed up on was that Main Event?
Yeah.
Was it? It was definitely no. I think that was. It wasn't the Heartbreak Hotel. It was what other segment they had. I forgot who it was. It was I don't know if it was the Jake the Snake segment. You know, back when they would give niggas kind of like, you know, the highlight reel and, you know, the Miz
like
TV shit.
And shit like that. Like,
it was one of those, but when that nigga showed up and they blurred the fucking WCW World Heavyweight Championship out. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, big man. What do you think about that, big man? I'm here to beat you, big man. You know what I'm saying? The pre-Triple H before Triple H. What do you think about that, big man? I am the real, the real world champion of the world in regards to pro wrestling, big man. You think you're big shit? No, man. I came out here on my private jet, big man. Double A is back there with the hoes, big man. You can't get none of them because you kind of whack, big man. Point is, big man, your time is over.
Exactly. So, you know, that Medusa thing was great. Very brief, but still memorable moment.
Scott Hall.
You know, because...
I'm saying Mad Machismo.
Exactly. As I mentioned earlier when we were talking about this off the show, it was proof that, along with the outsiders who we're about to get to, because it's a great segue, that you didn't know who was going to show up on Nitro doing what, you know, because so many people in those days are having issues with WWF/E. They were getting fired.
You already had Hogan and
contracts were ending.
You had Hogan and the Macho Man.
Yeah, you had basically the dudes who had made wrestling great in the late 80s and early 90s.
And they were still considered to be like the top dudes in the game at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Because again, like those
like
of us,
I love Bret Hart, I love Shawn Michaels, but
they weren't at that level yet. They weren't at that level.
They didn't cross over in the same way yet.
No, they weren't.
Shit, even the Undertaker had more recognition just because of how crazy his character was. But like,
no, you could say that Undies was the biggest act in wrestling.
He was like
at
the
that
spectacle,
time.
You know, like
you could say that. You could.
Especially since Hogan was on the like downslope. Hulkamania was whatever by that point. So,
yeah, but you know, Hulkamania became Thunder in Paradise.
Don't bring that show up, son. Chill, son.
Well, you have to.
What are you doing to me right now, son?
You have to because they were filming in the same studios.
That's
how Eric Bischoff got to him.
The show was so cheap.
Well, him and Thunder in Paradise.
Sounding like Kofi Kingston singing that song and shit.
On Channel 9 before it was UPN.
Oh, my God. I used to watch shit of that. It was Renegade and...
Renegade was actually all right.
And RoboCop and a couple of other shows, you know.
I never watched the RoboCop show.
It was that heat. It was pretty good. At any rate, shout out to RoboCop, who's also in WCW.
Shout out to RoboCop, who's also in Mortal Kombat.
He saved Sting that one time. Never forget.
And that is one of the worst fucking pay-per-views ever. Son.
It really is. It's cursed.
Because they have him in... His name is in the fucking title. It's not... it's Capital something.
Capital Carnage.
Something. Capital... Is it Capital Carnage?
Yeah.
Capital Carnage. Wait, did he show up? Because one of the titles is The Return of RoboCop. So I don't know if that was like...
Maybe that might... I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Maybe he showed up.
I just remember
he might have showed up twice.
I just remember he saved Sting. That's all I remember.
No, he did. I think they had... Because he may have showed up like around the first RoboCop, which was 87. Shout out to 87. And I think he came back for that one we're talking about in whatever that was, 91, 92 maybe.
Our next thing is the Outsiders, since I mentioned them during Medusa. It was around that same time where...
Hey, yo.
It was incredible because it was like...
Hey, yo.
The new hotness. Like, even though they had Hogan and Macho and all these things, like, the new hotness had jumped ship.
So you have to be
Alright.
buff to come out in nothing but a jean vest and some jeans with some combat boots on.
Looking like you were drinking all day, like before you got this. Like,
During an incredibly mediocre match. That's the only thing they should have did that shit during the main event, son.
but it still had impact, man. Like it was so big.
Like, nah, they should have did that during like a DDP or like a Booker T match. Or fuck it. Even a Perry Saturn match. Well, no, he wasn't there then.
He wasn't there yet.
But
my son was still wrestling with Cronus in the ECW, I believe.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to John Cronus. They were the Eliminators, right? Him and Cronus were the Eliminators, right?
Yeah, Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturn and Cronus.
Shout out to the Total Elimination.
Total.
You want to call that the title, Total Elimination
Yeah.
at the end of the world, son?
Might as well.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Eliminators, man. Perry Saturn deserved better, man. The fuck? Like,
Perry Saturn in the year of 97 may have been a top 5 wrestler, son.
certainly.
Arguably, but
Not may have, son.
that
Man stepped into the ring. He was working.
Nah, the best Saturn was that Saturn that had the jeans and the boots on, man. 'Cause he just did not
Even
give a
tights,
fuck.
Perry, man. The jean shorts and the tights.
The long tights, not the
and
briefs.
the makeup. When he's wearing makeup, this nigga's wilding.
He went back to his jean shit when he had the dress on, but I don't want to bring that up. I don't want to bring up the leather dresses.
But the fact that he was balling, like wrestling his ass off in a
he
dress,
was, but he wasn't getting no chips.
that shit was crazy. So yeah, the Outsiders, formative. It was a big deal. It showed that WCW had the pockets to get big talent, and that the WWF was not the main game anymore. Like, it had real competition and would have to work to really establish itself.
Competition and Vince McMahon. Vinnie Mac is cheap when he's cheap at the wrong times, and he overpays the wrong people.
Certainly.
So he gave Bret Hart a 20-year contract, bro. Why the fuck would you do that?
Fear, as we've talked about, when we've talked about this man many times, desperation, because once he has you locked in, he owns you.
And he realizes that the game ain't the same, and he's a lame.
He's still in 1983, bro. He's chilling.
Now, I wouldn't say 83. He's still in maybe like 89. Definitely like those years before the court case.
Yeah, before the steroid trial. So, the Outsiders, as you know, if you are Mark, went on to revolutionize tag team wrestling in general. They were able to make a mark that they probably would not have made in WWF as Razor Ramon and Diesel respectively.
No, you gotta get the F out.
You can get the F out. I remember when I was collecting comics and those ads were in the comics all the time.
That shit pissed me off, bro. That was like my freshman year in high school, and it was like, yeah, boy, they changing the name. I'm like,
why?
Until this day, nobody gives a fuck about the World Wildlife Foundation, son.
On the low, though, I want to get that shirt that has, because it's the two pandas on their logo.
The old one was one panda. I think the new one is two pandas.
It's two pandas, and now someone made a shirt saying WWF, and one of the pandas is holding a steel chair about to hit the other panda.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. If they
Hilarious.
act like the actual WWF did that, son, that's
that's someone else who made that. Someone made that.
That shit would be so like
I gotta
I'll
get that
fuck
shit.
with them for that. That's
nah.
fun for that.
WWF was real butthurt about beating the World Wrestling Federation for that name, the right to name it.
You got the name and you still ain't doing nothing with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And
what are they really doing?
Shit ain't been the same since they became the WWE.
It's true. Honorable mention before we close this thing out. There's a couple more here that I got. But I always wanted to mention this because speaking of formative, like this list has like moments for the most part where like when this stuff happened, like I was a little kid being like, oh fuck.
Shit was shaking up a little bit.
And so this was one of those because I was an ECW fanatic.
ECW.
I was super into it, watching it on public access television every Friday night at midnight because they couldn't show any of that crazy shit before
It was Saturday night. Well, unless they switched.
It was Friday for us in the Bronx on Channel 25. Same channel as the...
For me, it was, well, it depends on what year we're talking about.
Channel 25, because it was the same channel as the box. So the box...
Wait, what year did you come across ECW?
I was watching as soon as they were on public access. So that's probably from 97, 96, 97.
No.
Because that Raw that I'm about to mention, to jump the gun a little bit, happened in February 24th of 1997. ECW was already established a bit before that. So it would have to be...
And by established, so they had a couple of pay-per-views.
So it would have to be late 96, 97.
But they were still in like this weird flux of not syndication.
Well, that's why they were on public access. You know what I'm saying? Like, we discovered them. My cousin, shout out to Jingle, he discovered this shit because either his pops was watching the box because, you know, his pops is into rap or whatever.
Shout out to the box.
The box held niggas down.
Boy.
Like, free videos? Like, how cool is that? You know, like, and the newest ones, too.
That's how you know we're not only old, but we're real New Yorkers, boy. Channel 21?
It was 25 for us uptown.
Word?
Yeah. 25, and then I think 32. Later on, they changed it. But 25.
No, they always... All right.
But it was 25 for sure for us, 25.
When I remember really watching the box, it was 21, but the box did switch around. And then, well, now I'm about to really show my age. Them old, whatever channel that was when you could order the videos.
Yeah.
You dial in your shit, punch in the code. And
the box also did that too. Like
they started doing that before they moved.
Yeah, and then the box just started having a rotation. Like they just had the newest videos that were hot.
Yeah.
Or the videos that MTV didn't show, that's why I watched it. And
boy,
so
I ordered that 112, the Only You remix, Mad Times. Son.
Wow, it's black as hell. That's some nigga shit.
I mean, boy, 96 was a good year. It was a good summer.
So for me, Jingle, my cousin, shout out to Jingle once again.
SummerSlam 96.
He had seen, you know, we were both wrestling heads heavy. And he had come across it, him and his pops, shout out to John Sr. They came across it by mistake. Like, ECW just came on when they were just watching the box one night.
That's exactly how you would come across ECW.
So it came on.
You just would be flipping on some late night shit.
So it came on, and they watch it, and they come to me, and they're like, yo, this shit was crazy, son.
Because as soon as you saw that shit, it's like, oh my God. The grittiness, the grunginess, the lighting sucked. You knew it was shitty production, but like, yo, this was what the game has been missing.
Especially as a little kid, you know, we had been fed steadily, you know, sports entertainment and that stuff. And so to go and see deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah. But you know what? We were lucky because we were in the age of, like, we still had pro wrestling, but the early birth of what sports entertainment became. We had the good sports entertainment.
And again, like, you know, it was just a what Americans always do, right? They see something foreign, which was Japanese deathmatch wrestling, and they adapted it and to America. And it was a great idea because I started watching it. I was like, word? Free wrestling? Because that's what it was for me. Like, because like you said, you mentioned that I had cable, but I didn't have cable consistently. So
neither did I. But you had it more consistently than I did.
Definitely, I'll say that. But like, there were times where, you know how it is. You know, niggas can't pay the cable. You don't have it. You know, the box is off. Like, that's just what it is.
I love how my moms used to diddy bop a nigga, and it's whack too. Because this is like, I think we only had cable for like a month and a half. No, like a month. And she diddy bop me, being like, "Yo, yeah, no, go try to plug the the old twisty joint. Yeah, go plug it in. The cable might kick in."
Oh my God.
Yo, I did that shit for mad days. That fucked up blue screen, son.
Praying, son. Like, please.
Just trying to watch Raw. Back when Raw was Raw.
So when I didn't have cable, ECW held me down because that was the free wrestling to watch on the box.
Yeah.
And we were hooked, man. Me and my cousin would have sleepovers just to watch that shit.
All day.
We would stay up to watch it.
All day.
Like, it was Friday night. That's what a nigga was doing. Like, I wasn't, I was a dork. Like, I wasn't out in the streets or nothing like that. Like, I wasn't like my peers.
Not being a dork, bro. You were just, you had good.
But coming from where I came,
you had a good home presence.
Definitely. I was just saying, coming from where I came from, like, all my other friends was out in the streets. on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, you came
before
from,
they was even getting cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Before they was
from
even
the old school New York, which
you know,
is
like
what
they were just
yeah.
out there to be out there because that's what everybody did. You were just out on Friday night.
No, and at certain points, you know, being out on the block did sound cool, but
it did. Even for me, I was still I had my fair share of Friday nights out there,
yeah,
but
you can't say that shit to them. And now, yeah, baby, I'm out on the block.
I'm out on the block. I'm chilling in front of the building, son. But when ECW came, or it was time almost ECW, like it was exciting because, and they also inevitably, like you said, moved it to Saturdays, but it was still in the box for us. And
Saturdays on, well, if I'm lucky,
box, 25.
MSG.
That was later, but
yeah, I know.
yeah.
That's when I caught it.
Yeah, that's when I also had cable again consistently. So I was like, all right, cool. Like I watch it on Saturday night. But
no, I caught it on the
right.
box like the first time, and that shit.
I watched on the box consistently. I still remember my first ECW.
It might have been like 9-6, but I remember my aunt talking about that, son. And she knew I was into wrestling, and she may have been the one that was watching wrestling with me when I was like 2-3 years old. But she's one of the first people. She always bring up the Undertaker because as a fucking worldly minded individual, she even saw like Undertaker being like, "Yo, who the fuck is this?" She knew wrestling from like the 70s and like the 80s, and she always knew I was into undies because I was like a little kid and zoned into this nigga, son. But when she told me that she had came home one night and just threw on whatever channel, honestly, at certain points, depending on what year it was, ECW may have been on Fox late night, son. Like late night on a Saturday.
Maybe for y'all, but it was never ever.
But this is later.
That's what I'm saying. Never ever. It was only.
But either way, she had brought up ECW, and the nigga she loved was Sandman, son. She loved Sandman and, funny enough, Sabu. But you know, this is an aunt that she also loved West Indian niggas who are historically crazy. So
makes sense. And it was the same. Like my first. And I love the Sandman too. I love Sabu, but my first memory was Al Snow. So it's interesting. We mentioned him before. Al Snow and dancing.
What does everybody want?
Yeah, well, that was before. What does everyone?
I know that it was, but
it was just him coming out and dancing with the head in the ring.
And that's before they started buying mad mannequin heads,
and then they started selling the heads.
And till this day, that's still one of the hardest entrances ever, son.
No,
the lights is off, and then you see all them white heads popping, and he sticks his head out,
and it's just him holding his head up, which is the real head, because it's a mannequin head.
Oh my god!
Everybody else had the white like dummy heads, but he has the real mannequin head.
I love crazy gimmicks, but I love crazy gimmicks when they're done right.
I loved him, son. He was just so good, like, and he wrestled so well, so it all clicked, and I still remember when he didn't win the title, but he won some major match.
His last match.
It was his last match before he was going to WWE because they were the E by that point.
No, they were the F.
Were they F still? Yeah,
they were
all right,
F.
they were F still.
They didn't become the E202.
So when they started siphoning all that ECW talent,
but again, that's what it was because Paul Heyman is Vince McMahon's illegitimate son. ECW really was a developmental league for fucking WWF.
Yeah, but you could tell the love, like, because I had love for Al Snow. And ECW, as a quick aside, like, really helped with my musical taste because they used copyrighted music as opposed to themes created. So, like...
And that goes into the whole Paul Heyman receiving checks from Vince McMahon shit, but that's a different podcast.
I discovered Pantera because RVD came out to walk, I mean.
Respect.
So
what do you say?
Same thing with Tommy Dreamer. Same thing with Tommy Dreamer coming out with Man in the Box. Son.
What do you say?
Same thing with Al Snow specifically coming out to the Prodigy. Smack My Bitch Up or whatever, right? So like, or is it Breathe?
No, bro.
It's Breathe. Breathe is the song he comes out to. So
or just your favorite, son. Your favorite son.
Yeah, Sandman.
No, not your favorite son.
Who's that, man?
Natural Born Killers.
Well, he's not my favorite, son.
No, it's not. I'm not saying he's your favorite wrestler.
It's my favorite entrance, probably.
That's why. Yeah.
Besides
the
Sandman, because I loved Metallica. So when he came out to that resonated with me. I was like, "Who is this drunk nigga like coming out to Metallica?" Like,
yeah, he was somebody that you could not notice him.
I was super into him, and because he was smoking and wilding, like.
But at this point, son. You can't. There's no. Well, once again, we've
First
done.
of all, R.I.P. New Jack. By the way, for y'all who don't.
Yes.
Who don't know, son. Like
that was a couple months ago, and I ain't gonna lie. Now that you reminded me of that, I may have to get a little bit more drunk later and cry about that later. But
feel the sadness, you know.
Nah, I haven't shed a tear about that. I forgot about it till you reminded me. It's fucked up. But yeah, we can't like not watch his entrance without having that song come on, son.
Exactly. That would probably. I'm never probably gonna be a wrestler, but if I come out to wrestle, I'm definitely coming out to that. Even more than all the metal songs I like, that would be great. Like that seems to make the most sense.
I'm going to not necessarily take the advice of our ex-producer, the brother man Minute, but at one point he did throw out you know what I'm saying, the goodness as a intro.
That'll be us as a tag team. That's gotta be us as a tag team.
I'm saying, well, I you know there's several other hip hop, you know what I'm saying, pinnacles that I could throw out there.
There's so many songs, but that song, man, Natural One, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you know, you got that gets the crowd hype, son.
And niggas feared that man, son. So like, could you imagine? You're actually afraid to wrestle this man, who might fuck you up in the match if you make him mad.
Shout out to Dan Severn.
Shout out to the mass transit incident. So you're dealing with a guy.
That was his fault. Well, that was his father's fault.
I'm not absolving him. I'm just saying that he was a part of it. Is all I'm saying. So like, you know.
No, that was them. That wasn't New Jack.
The point is that he was a part of it. Is all I'm saying. But like,
him and Paul Heyman.
That sadly, that might be the thing that he is now probably going to be most famous for. Is the mass transit incident. But like,
well, no, he did tase a nigga and throw him off a fucking scaffold.
But that's less known than the mass transit incident. Like niggas have documented that shit, like hard body.
They have, but you know what I'm saying, he got to quit.
Dark Side of the Ring did it, like you know what I'm saying. Like they did a whole episode about this nigga, like
as they should,
and rightfully so. Like, but
and they got it right. Well, not right before he passed, but goddamn,
basically right before he passed. And like, I remember like when he did pass, I was like, damn, I just watched a video of you playing with a crossbow.
No, it was. I won't say it was it. It was it like when they came out that was the second season of Dark Side, so it was like about like. Cause you know how that goes.
It's close, man. Like it was close.
But you know what it is. Like when it aired, that was at least a year and maybe some change from when they really did that shit.
I get it. The point is that they made an episode.
But like when it aired, like, and that's what I'm talking about. When it aired, he passed a couple of months ago. Yeah. So from when that shit aired, that was at least like another year. So
yeah.
But still.
R.I.P. to the God.
Hopefully he died the way he wanted to be, coked up and out of his mind.
And chilling. So I bring up ECW besides, you know, my nostalgia that I feel toward it, to bring up this Raw that happened on February 24th, 1997. This has some lore behind it. I'm not going to go too deeply into it, but basically, as you said, Paul Heyman had already kind of sown the seeds of like ECW being a feeder league for the WWF.
And we'll give them, the fans that don't know, a little bit of that lore. The only reason that happened is because they had was that the Royal Rumble of that year in Philly? It was some pay-per-view. I think it may have been a Rumble. But they were in Philly and the crowd the whole night was just chanting ECW. And Vince McMahon had to finally fucking acknowledge, like, yeah, this is. Let me get my Vince voice right. Yeah, that's the independent promotion that's out here, local in Philadelphia. The Philly fans love him out here, and you know, I guess they're doing good things out here. I think that's when he was still out. That was before he started fucking with JR, but I think the King was still. Yeah, the King was probably on this.
It was because that prompted the King to say the thing that ECW stands for extremely crappy wrestling. And I remember that. And
see, they should have came out with that T-shirt.
So niggas got upset. Obviously, ECW did, even though they saw the. This is what you're alluding to earlier, the crossover potential, right? So they saw the crossover potential. Did Paul Heyman and Vince McMahon?
Oh no, I'm bugging. It was I'm bugging. It was King of the Ring '95 because that main event was fucking Savio Vega against King Mabel.
That's right.
And like the fans hated that shit, son.
That's right. And so so they bought into it, you know. You had, I forget what pay-per-view that was, where you had Sandman, Paul Heyman, and Tommy Dreamer in the ECW shirts sitting in the front row. Behind the blue steel fucking barricades, man.
Yes.
And they had Jerry Lawler went to an ECW pay-per-view. I can't think of what that is right now. But he went there and like shit on them, basically, and the fans.
No. That's when he recruited the Eliminators.
There you go. See, there's a thread here. Son, the Eliminators, man.
No, I'm bugging. No. That was Paul Heyman on Raw. Lawler recruited the best that ever did in ECW, RVD and Sabu. It would have had to been him and Sabu.
Yeah, but you know, he went there and like you know, stirred shit up. So finally,
that might have been. I don't want to say Heat Wave 9-7. That might have been like Heat Wave 9-6, or because that Raw was in 9-7.
Yes, early 9-7.
So
the beef was already stewing the year before.
Yeah, it was brewing. Like I said, it started in 9-5. Shit started bubbling. It ain't popped until 9-7. So shit, I don't know if that was guilty as charged. Because look, guilty as charged was in January. Well, in regards to their structure that I knew, but you know, back in them days, you know.
But this Raw, man, was amazing to me because there wasn't crossovers like this really, like ever.
No. Outside of WCW and like Japan.
Yeah, very rare. Or NWA and WCW because they used to be NWA. Like it was a weird thing.
But no, this it struck a chord with everybody because
the new hotness
ECW
was on the main show.
The Spice Melange.
It was on Raw, which was the hottest wrestling show at the time.
Still, when they had like the RAW.
And
not the Titantron.
And they were still in
shit Sabu jumped
and they were
off.
still in that bingo hall, the ECW bingo hall. That's where they filmed it.
The Manhattan Center.
Yeah, Manhattan Center. I was gonna say Hammerstein. I always confuse them. So yeah, like it was amazing to see that Raw was at the ECW arena essentially in New York,
and just the way they started.
But like,
Paul Heyman coming out, he came out with the Eliminators during the whack match. Actually, that may have been one of the early Matt Hardy affairs, and I have to look into that. I think one of the Hardys was in that squash match where Paul Heyman came out with young Perry Saturn with the Mohawk ponytail and Brother Cronus, and they hit him with the total elimination.
To win.
And Paul Heyman was like, basically, y'all wanted us, we're here.
And that was the theme throughout the night. Taz came out later. Speaking of which, I'm just going to like shove this in real quick because I'm going to end with my guy to close the episode out. But this was Taz's kind of like, Taz was one of those hot wrestlers just like RVD and Sabu at the time. So they wasn't sure because he was like, fuck WWF. Like, they wasn't sure he was going to come or not. And having him on that show was just amazing.
And not to mention, that's when you had gotten away from the Tasmanian Devil to that goon, Mike Tyson, Red Hook, Brooklyn Taz.
Yeah, towel over the head Taz. Like,
ooh, if I was a wrestler, I would do that, son.
Towel over the head, yeah.
All day, baby.
He definitely
pulled it off. I'm a Tyson fan and I'm a Taz fan.
So. He pulled it off. So
Hajime, baby.
So that was a memorable, as a kid, that was definitely a memorable Raw for me because it showed, because everybody's talking about nowadays, the Forbidden Door is open. Now that everyone is, like, collaborating, New Japan collaborating, EW, ROH with AEW.
The Forbidden Door was never a Forbidden Door.
NWA. Well, it was Forbidden Door in the sense that the E was keeping that closed because
Vince.
The other guys felt like they couldn't team up to take him down, and now.
And again, look,
that's not the case.
We had this conversation way back in 2019, whenever they sold the Garden out, and I told you that fucking night, I was like, bro, before AEW, son. I'm like, yo, Cody and all these niggas, they doing something, and they're gonna keep that. And
that wasn't even necessarily them, remember, because that was Super Card of Honor, at that event. So like,
which they should bring back. That should be their WrestleMania.
They should bring that back because
that should be their WrestleMania.
ROH in New Japan. That's a cool combo, man.
Bring everybody in like WrestleMania should be. Bring everybody in, son. Whoever's whoever's the hottest in the Indies, whoever's the hottest in Japan.
But the thing about that,
whoever's the hottest in Mexico.
The thing about WrestleMania weekend and WrestleMania season is that all the other promotions, and I feel like smartly so, have their main show that time of year. All of them. So like that collaboration is impossible. Super Card of Honor worked out because New Japan doesn't have their WrestleMania is Wrestle Kingdom at the beginning of the year.
2 months later. Now listen. I'm going to throw this out there because, and I don't know how many times I've thrown this nigga out there, but your man JD, I was watching him earlier, and he said that they're trying to, well, they're not trying to, but there are talks about them kind of bringing back some kind of like New Year's resolution shit. Revolution, right? Revolution. New Year's resolution would have been harder, but whatever. But they're going to do some shit on New Year's Day called Day 1. Now, if you build the Usos up on some ill tag team shit, that's some ill kind of like gimmick pay-per-view shit for them. Because Day 1, New Year's Day, first day of the year. They won't do it right. I know. They won't.
It'll be dumb.
But they're talking about...
It couldn't fill a whole show.
They're talking about doing that and pushing the Rumble back to February. Which, listen... I'm cool with that because then that condenses the fucking WrestleMania season.
That's not a bad idea. Moreover,
because then you don't have Chamber.
No, you should have Chamber.
No.
You have Chamber instead of Fastlane because, frankly, for me, Chamber is one of their shows. Like one of they say they have the Big Five or whatever. Chamber is one of their main
just push
shows.
Chamber back, son. Push it.
No, or combine the two. Like have a Chamber.
Put Chamber where Backlash used to be.
Backlash is after WrestleMania. So
exactly.
It doesn't make sense to have Chamber so close to WrestleMania. You need something besides Royal Rumble to carry you through to the road of WrestleMania. That's why Chamber works.
Not if you push the Rumble back.
Well, you still should have Chamber anyway.
No, like you do, but
because
again,
you need to have a pay-per-view in between Rumble and WrestleMania.
No.
You do.
No.
I should say they do.
No, they don't.
Necessarily need to do it,
because again, bro, that's what they've been doing, son, and they failed.
No, worse or still, they've had 2 pay-per-views in between Rumble and WrestleMania.
So again, if you have the Rumble in February,
the road to WrestleMania.
If you have the Rumble in February, then no pay-per-view in March at all, bro. Do what you used to do and build WrestleMania on SmackDown
then you
and
need
Raw.
To have the Chamber at WrestleMania.
No, you don't, bro. No, you do not.
Chamber
son.
is a good match. It really is.
If you want to keep that shit as a pay-per-view, cool. But this nowhere near WrestleMania, son. If you want to have that shit, like, make that the end of the year fucking pay-per-view. If you want to do that.
You know why Chamber is good?
No, I understand.
You have a match that can, you can attach stakes to. You know what I'm saying? Much in the way the Royal Rumble is. Like
I'm not in the realm of getting rid of it.
And I like that Chamber basically whoever wins the Chamber has a shot. Not wins the title. I hated those Chambers where you won the title if you won the Chamber. You win a shot at the title at WrestleMania. Or a shot at
cool. Look, no. What's wrong with you? I'm not in the realm of getting rid of the pay-per-view because even though I enjoyed as just a match, I'm cool with it being a pay-per-view outside of like Hell in a Cell. So look, what you're talking about, Elimination Chamber, do that in June. That's a replacement for fucking for King of the Ring, son.
Or just have it be the end of the King of the Ring. Like, you should incorporate it.
No,
like
that's what I'm saying. Hey, how have you...
We even take it out of that. It's just like Hell in a Cell. We take it out of it being its own pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But
I'm in the realm...
personally, you know what I'm doing? And this might be wacky. But I'm putting the Elimination Chamber in the Money in the Bank. Because they have themselves said that Money in the Bank is a main show of theirs. The 5th show, right?
Yes.
Quote, unquote, the 5th show.
Yes.
So if you put a high-stake match like that, which it is... as the match to win the briefcase, then it seems that much more important. You know what I'm saying? Because Money in the Bank is just like, all right, who can get to the ladder? And we do all these ladder spots and this and that, and then get the case. And that shit is stupid to me now. Like,
well,
like,
you know,
last year
how I feel
was
about
weird.
that,
you know, with the like, you had to race to the roof to get it. I appreciated that they tried to make it interesting.
But they were in the realm of the production matches,
which was fun. Like, again, it was fun.
And they had to do that.
But I feel like if you want to keep that going, the Chamber is the way to go.
Well, you know how I feel about Money in the Bank. Like, I would have always kept that at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they're not doing that. So if we're gonna fold one show into the other, then we're folding Elimination Chamber into the Money in the Bank. Like,
you know what? Look, I'm fine with that on some like either middle of the year shit, like in between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, or like some end of the year shit.
Because the only reason I don't want to put it on Backlash is because you take the air out of whatever the title changing event was at WrestleMania. For example, this year was WrestleMania Backlash is what they called it, right?
Yeah.
All there was on there was just straight rematches that were terrible.
But that's because they threw the fucking name in the title in the, but the Backlash. But it
didn't even have anything to do with that because Backlash historically was the
Backlash of WrestleMania,
which is fine. Like, that's not what I have the issue with. What I have the issue with is that they don't take Backlash as seriously as WrestleMania, so it doesn't mean anything.
But that's why I would do like what you're talking about. I would do that at Backlash to revamp shit. You know what I'm saying?
But if someone wins the title in the Elimination Chamber match,
no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If I'm like what we're talking about,
because Elimination Chamber is about title changes usually, or like a chance at a title. So like,
no, and if I'm doing it at Backlash specifically, the Elimination Chamber is just #1 contender shit. And like you said, I may double up and do that and a fucking Money in the Bank in the same night. That way, Backlash. It either, because you could play around with that, but it either is going to continue a storyline or create all new storylines that you can either play during the summer in the SummerSlam or
be a clusterfuck, honestly, because I feel like there can only be, unless because they have 2 shows, you make it all right. Money in the Bank is for this title, and the Backlash Elimination Chamber win is for this title, the other title.
No, it's not a clusterfuck because.
What it is, let's say you have a Money in the Bank.
Whoever has the Money in the Bank, clearly they can challenge for whatever. But
so that's what I'm saying. You said you wanted this to flow into King of the Ring, which I think is a good idea. King of the Ring.
No, me personally, I would have that be the King of the Ring.
But the point is of the King of the Ring tournament is to have a title shot. So if you have someone with another floating title shot, it's a lot.
I'm in the camp of look. I'm in the camp of having like one pay-per-view be strictly nothing but like #1 contendership matches.
Then that should be King of the Ring.
That's why I said that.
But again, if you have another floating title challenger who just cash in any time, it's weird. Like, yeah, you have the conflict of it, but I don't know. Like, it waters down that title shot. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that, all right, during the King of the Ring tournament, it's probably the storyline is probably going to be about this tournament. And yeah, you could tease it. But I would rather.
But no, I wouldn't.
Then I'd rather move the King of the Ring, Money in the Bank to SummerSlam, and have that be a match at SummerSlam, and to make SummerSlam special again, because SummerSlam is not special anymore.
No, it's either one of 2 things for me. I want to either keep the name and do what you were talking about in regards to like keeping the Elimination Chamber, and like what I said, and combining Elimination Chamber with fucking Money in the Bank, because. Ultimately, we're keeping the spirit of what King of the Ring used to be, which was, if you won the King of the Ring, you probably end up getting a title shot at SummerSlam. And again,
and more importantly, you beat guys in the tournament who were like threats. You didn't squash. I mean, I know there were squash matches in King of the Rings, But
They
like,
were, but it would be like
if you made it to the end or near the end, it was a big deal. Like,
outside
you know
of
what
like
I'm
the
saying?
top
Like,
2 like championship like names, it would be like the next 8 motherfuckers who may or may not be on that card.
Exactly.
But first of all, again, I'm a fan of King of the Ring, but like I said, I'm also in the realm of, and I see AEW doing this, but like I said, having just one pay-per-view where I'm cool with having a pay-per-view where like it's not but title defenses, Night of Gold and all that shit, or Night of Champions, but there should also be like a fucking pay-per-view where it's nothing but number 1 contendership for everything, tag team, women's, all of that.
Yeah, just contender series. I know that's Dana White's thing, but something like that,
And like I'm cool with that because like I said at King of the Ring, that would set the summer up, and that's what you kind of almost want to do.
And the summer has been dead lately, for them. So specifically, they could use it. But we got to seal this episode up. We went ham, and I'm okay with that. This is a nice, tidy, compact, filled episode right here. I'm appreciative.
There was definitely way more we could have talked about.
No, I like this flow here. So we're gonna end it with there are certainly more, as we alluded to at least 20 minutes ago. There are certainly more jumps, debuts that we could talk to. For example, real quick, we had Sting on our list in TNA because he had not appeared in some time. Niggas thought that he was kind of out of the game. He had retired for good, much in the way that dudes like $1 Million Man had. And people like I'm not going to be in the ring anymore. I'm not going to risk it. They're not paying me.
75% of the NWO. Back in 97.
There's plenty of dudes you can name, but like
Sting, Kurt Angle,
Sting and Kurt Angle.
Let's just Jeff Hardy.
Let's focus on them 3, right? Because those 3 were able to kind of breathe second lives into their careers. Like Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy specifically were going through the druggy times.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have done some of their best work during those times says a lot. Sting, definitely resurrected his career in a way, like, because he still was relevant. People love Sting, like.
And
the fact that he's in AEW wrestling right now, I still haven't. I was watching Wrestling Daily. Shout out to y'all. Y'all do good work. I was watching you earlier, and one of the hosts was talking about how she is still in shock over the fact that Sting is back on TV. Just Sting, and who he is and what he means to the game. And
no thanks to Seth Rollins.
It's easy to take that for granted, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's amazing. Him doing Scorpion death drops to niggas and shit is awesome.
That's all he should do, bro. Just don't talk and just hit niggas with Scorpion death drops.
And make sure that your son does well. Your son Darby does well in the ring,
Yeah, just go back to that 9-7 Sting where you don't talk. Just come out with the bat, hit niggas, and Scorpion
and
death
point your
drops.
bat at niggas.
I don't need to see him in the ring.
So that's cool. But last guy I wanted to get to because I definitely hoisted the diamond up before. I'm going to do it again as I point my mic so you can still hear me. My levels are still good. Diamond to the sky, son.
DDP.
DDP. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. DDP's story was horrendous, which it was. The stalker story where he stalked Sarah, the Undertaker's then wife, by Pete Tom on her and following her around and shit. It was stupid. It was.
Yeah, they could have did something better, especially
fucking stupid. It really was.
But he went at the head dog at that time,
which was cool. Like, that part was cool because DDP as a villain intrigued me. Like, even though he was a villain early on in the DDP career,
that was the real diamond in Dallas.
That was when he was in the long coats, and that was
long coat with the spandex.
Exactly.
Or the pastel, the slime green and the pink and the
with
black.
Kimberly, son. With Kimberly
oh my god.
So
shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to
I personally
that first generation of Nitro girls.
Word up, but I love DDP. Like, he is such a good wrestler. He was the hero. I always say he's the hero of WCW. In the NWO times, it was cool that he never joined. Had such a cool finisher. Like, he was like such a success story because people, even then, because they're heavy with this now, but even back then, they're like, you're too old to be starting out on this. You ain't got it. you're great on the mic though. Like that's how it was. They're like, you're great on the mic though. Like
then he had a lot of personality.
And he said that he was like, yo, I was just trying to be the manager. Like I didn't want to be in the ring. Like
no, he was Scott Hall's manager. I forgot what Scott Hall. He's the reason that Scott Hall became Razor Ramon. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
with the hair, the toothpick, all that.
The swag, all that. So, like, when he was on his own as Diamond Dallas, like, I hated him because he was the shit heel at first. And he gradually became this hero of WCW and was awesome.
Yeah.
And and I bring all this context up, to say that even though he got to win the title finally in WCW, thank God. Like, at least they didn't
after mad bullshit.
After getting screwed for years.
He should have got that Starrcade against... No, the Halloween Havoc against Goldberg.
Was that 98, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was mad. I remember that. I was upset. Because that was near my birthday. So, like, Halloween Havoc was a big deal for me. So, when some shit bad happened on Halloween Havoc, I was mad the rest of the month.
Halloween Havoc 98.
So, the sheets had been saying that DDP was going to debut, but I hadn't been paying attention to the dirt sheets as much at the time because I didn't want to be spoiled. I realized, like, even if it's rumor, even if it's conjecture, speculation, whatever, even them putting it into my mind that X wrestler is going to possibly be there spoils the surprise. Like, and it didn't for Jericho. Like, even though niggas knew Jericho was coming, like, it was so awesome, it didn't spoil it. But, like, certain other surprises, it did spoil.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. And so when DDP came, finally, I knew he was coming at some point because it had been hinted at and talked about.
But we were in that flow of, the invasion, so it was already kind of a...
it made sense.
It was an understood, like, temperature of... Like, we're going to have, like, this motherfucker show up, then a couple months later, this motherfucker...
Especially after Booker T showed up.
Yeah. So it was like it was like you didn't know exactly when, but you knew, like, all right, this dude was going to show up. They're going to space it out. Then somebody else going to show up. Then so on and so forth.
Exactly. So when he finally showed up as the Sarah Stalker, when he peeled off his mask... With the wide eye,
the curly DDP hair and the eyes.
Yeah, the short DDP hair because he cut his hair, so it was stunning.
Oh yeah.
It was shocking that he was short hair DDP.
No, he was short hair DDP in WCW.
No, he had cut his hair off near the end of DDP.
But he was starting to grow back towards the end.
But when he came back as Commando Stalker DDP, like it was stunning, like the image because I thought it was someone else. I thought it might be someone else. I thought it might be someone that was, I was a mark-ass nigga. I thought, it was going to be some foe of The Undertaker from the past or some shit. All types of shit.
No, it was a lot of speculation. Nobody was talking about DDP.
No one. Nobody was
I'm trying to
DDP.
remember who the fuck they said it was.
Actually,
no. I think a lot of people back then was saying that it might have been, like, they thought it was Canyon.
It made sense because they had shown both of them on camera.
Yeah.
They had similar body types.
Canyon and
it made sense because Canyon...
on some funny shit. I think niggas was on like some hill turn shit with Edge. I think they thought it was Edge.
But also Canyon had that gimmick of him like hitting niggas with Diamond Cutter and pretending to be DDP. In WCW, so that's why they thought Canyon.
Yeah.
But when he was out there and he like fucking revealed his shit, I was like, oh, fuck, it's DDP. So, and I thought it was going to be amazing. I was like, yo, this is a dream match. Like, imagine The Undertaker getting hit with the Diamond Cutter. Like, I was whirling. Like, my fantasy booking, I went into fantasy booking
especially since
mode,
that was pre him against Randy Orton when Randy Orton reversed the choke slam into the RKO.
Exactly. So I was super hyped, and they buried the shit out of DDP in that storyline, which is so disappointing to me. I understand why, Vince is abusing all WCW dudes that came over. He buried all of them. I understand.
And I keep it real when you hear stories about that shit. Him and the locker room, period, son.
Yeah, in general.
But that's like lame niggas like JBL. Well,
but I understand
back when he was just Brad.
But think about it, right? Like you have won the Monday Night Wars.
Not even that you've won. You've been warring with these niggas.
Yeah, you won. But you've won, essentially.
Boy, that's just like when Earl the Pro went to the Knicks. Son.
So you imagine this fucking petty-ass nigga got this talent under his control?
And they're still like their wave and their vibe is that of that petty ass guys.
Yeah. So yeah, it in a lot of ways ruined wrestling, but also made wrestling better because those people who are buried, depending on who you talk about, rose to the challenge or were buried, but
or became coons.
Yeah, or became company coon men dancing that coon dance for Daddy Vince.
That soft shoe.
But yeah, like DDP, man, like even though it broke my heart, like what they did to him, and then they tried to have him do the motivational speaker gimmick, which was cool. At least it was his gimmick that he wanted to do.
That was ill because it and me and Steve, the Dancing Bear always talk about it. I should have have copped out on that DDP yoga.
DDPY now. Like, you don't call it yoga no more.
Oh, DDPY?
DDPY.
That bang bang.
Yeah.
But the last jump that I wanted to bring up that I said was awesome was clearly the Mike Awesome on Nitro. When he beat the shit out of Kevin Nash.
That's a good one. Because that was very unheralded,
No, because he was still the ECW champion.
Exactly. Dudes knew who Mike Awesome was, but didn't know who Mike Awesome was. So when
he came out and beat the shit out of Kevin Nash.
Powerbombed the shit out of Kevin Nash.
And beat the shit out of him with his own crutch.
It was amazing. That's a good jump. That's a good one right there. Mike Awesome. I hadn't thought about that. R.I.P. to Mike Awesome, man. You should have been a lot better than they made you. Speaking of dudes who are buried, man. Oh, my God. So DDP rounds out our list there. It was incredible, like, to me anyway, because I was such a fan of his. And the pop, he took off the mask, like, the crowd lost it.
The pop in the eyes.
Like, the eyes.
He sold it.
That's definitely going to be, even though it's going to be total elimination at the end of the world this episode, like, DDP's going to be a thumbnail for sure, man. Shout out to DDP, baby. Man. I'm definitely finding that screen cap, but
yes.
But that was our list. Thank you for sitting with us. This definitely is a lot longer than we intended, but it was still fun, as usual.
Yeah, when the liquor flows,
niggas run their mouths. That's the rule of the world.
Yes.
And the rule of podcasts, definitely. So,
all day, baby.
If y'all like this, like, share, and subscribe. The usual spiel. We appreciate it.
And if the sexy voices ain't right, let us know.
Yeah, I got to work on that, Got to improve my NPR voice, the talking, soothing.
We need
if you're listening to this while you go to sleep, I'm here for you, baby.
We need the right amount of bass in our voices.
It's just put this on next to some crashing waves along the shore and
with the bass.
You'll drift off to dreamland to dream of Vince McMahon ruining your life.
I don't understand how any joints let him slap, but whatever.
He's a man of wealth and power. Like, it doesn't take much more than that.
He's the man of 1,000 faces.
Of many, many other things.
All day.
So, we finished. We love y'all, but, a nigga is hungry. So we're going to go away now.
All I'm thinking about right now is some lasagna.
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate y'all always. Tell them who you are, where you're at, where they can reach you.
Questions, comments, concerns. Of course,
nudes.
It's always the all day. Well, I mean,
female nudes.
No. Strictly female nudes. You know what I'm saying? All the pronouns. But Bandit Light, that being Bandit_Light7. On the gram, that is supposedly Insta.
That's right. Talk to him. Send him those female nudes. Hit a nigga up.
I mean, listen, you know what I'm saying? If you want to send me your panties and thongs through the mail, do that, but...
Nah, chill.
Nah, just spray it with some Febreze before you do
exactly. Some disinfectant, seal that up. Seal that up in the turkey bag one time, know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I'll do what I'll do what Wesley Snipes did in fucking what's that baseball movie, son?
The Fan?
No, not the Fan.
No,
well,
Fan.
That's when he was that
was hockey,
Bonds.
right? Yeah.
That's when he was Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
The funny shit. The shit about the Indians, but When he was every time he was still a base, he would hang up his one of his gloves.
That's right. Yeah.
If y'all send me the pennies and the thongs, I'll definitely hand me your shits up to one of my walls and create a good Hall of Fame.
Exactly. As for me, you can find me on Twitter, Shining Brizard or Blizzard. Still trying to figure that out.
Brizard.
Brizard.
Soft J.
One word. Shining Brizard. Hit me with similar female nudes and your hate. I'm sure you got plenty for me, which is fine. That means you're listening. So I'm with
send the nudes and the hate.
Yeah, it's gonna come anyway. So,
send the hateful nudes.
Hateful nudes are also accepted. Female only. But speaking of pronouns,
No dudes.
Thanks to you all, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary royalty. Thank you for sitting here with us.
Scamps and all the scallywags.
And we'll see you next week. Or actually, we might double up for the Jake Paul and Tyron.
No. There'll definitely be another one within the next couple of days.
At least for that, trust me, we'll talk. Since we talked 20 fucking minutes about it on this episode, you might as well fucking watch it, right?
Yeah, we ain't got no choice.
I was going to watch
it. It may be a good card.
Yeah, we'll see. We might get some good boxing out of it. At least a murder. So tune in for that, y'all. Either Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll see you until then.